So now let's talk about the FilletXpert feature, but before we do that, there is one more feature that I want to discuss related to Fillet, and that is setback parameters. Now for the setback parameter, I will use this corner, and for that, once again, let's go to Fillet, and here I'll go to this simple fillet, which is manual one, and I'll select the first option, which is constant size fillet, and I'll select this edge. Okay. So by default, a fillet radius of 16 is added here. You can apply any other radius if you want to, but I'll just select the 16 mm radius. If you have something else selected, just make it 16 because that's the radius where the changes will be much more visible. Now currently what I'm getting here is a fillet which kind of looks okay. If you see the preview, it kind of looks good and the edges are all maintained. But when you just scroll down this list and go to this option called overflow type, you'll notice that we have an option called default, keep edge and keep surface. Right now default is selected, which is just maintaining the edge of this solid. Let me zoom in and I'm going to select one of these other options. I'll select keep surface. And as soon as I do that, SolidWorks will change the fillet here. Now what is happening? In this case, it will make fillet with one single surface. As you can see, it is just a smooth surface of the fillet, but the edges are deformed. Let's just make this fillet to see things clearly. So I'll just click OK to create the fillet, and you can see that we have one smooth surface creating the fillet. Though this will deform this edge, but it will still maintain this smooth round corner here, and the surface is completely smooth as well. Okay, the other option of fillet is maintain edge. So I'll right click here and I'll go to edit feature. And now let's scroll down and select this keep edge. Now when you select this keep edge feature, SolidWorks will try maintaining this edge, but in this case it won't be able to maintain the smooth surface of the fillet. So now the fillet is broken into several different parts, and you can see that here also it's not even able to maintain that round fillet curve. And though it is able to maintain the edges here, the fillet will be made with several different broken surfaces. So click OK, and there we are. We've got several different broken surfaces here also. So that's the second fillet. Now this is going to happen when you have fairly large radii, and it's not going to happen always. When you have especially the smaller radii, this won't be a problem, but with larger radii, this could be an issue, and selecting one of the either types will actually depend on the kind of drawing which you are making. Now let's go to the next option, which is FilletXpert. So I'll just delete this last fillet, and using fillet option you can very easily manage multiple fillets. So it's kind of a fillet management tool. So let's go to fillet, and here we have FilletXpert. Now FilletXpert will only work with the first type of fillet, which is this constant size fillet. If you select any other of these types, FilletXpert option will not work for any of these options. So even if I click, well, these options won't be available here for FilletXpert. So I'll just go to the constant size fillet, and now I can switch to FilletXpert. Okay, so let's start adding the fillet. So I'll just maybe select the first corner here, this edge. All right, and now with that edge selected, I'll maybe change the radii to 5, and I'll click on this apply button, and the fillet is now applied. Now not only the fillet is applied here, but it is also applied in the feature tree. So you can see that now it has added a completely new feature here. Now if you want to apply even more fillets, you can do that right now. You don't need to exit this command, and that's the beauty of FilletXpert. So let's just apply another fillet here. So I'll just select this edge, and right now I've got this tangent propagation checked. So with this tangent propagation checked, when you select any edge, all the edges which are connected tangentially from edge to edge will be selected. So in this case, these three are connected along the tangential direction, so they are all selected. Now I'll change the radius also. So I'll just make it 6 unit and apply, and we have another fillet feature here. So you can apply variable radii as well. You just don't need to stick with only one radius for creating these fillets. Okay, let's add even more fillets here. So I'll just go to maybe this edge here, and I'll just add a radius of 5 unit and apply, and maybe add another one here. With the tangent propagation checked, I will add a radius of 3 unit and apply. So there we are, we've got several of these fillets added. Now if you want to modify any of these fillets later, you can do that also using FilletXpert. So in the FilletXpert we have a tool called change. So go to change, and here you can select the edge right from your drawing area, or you can select it from here. So here we have 3 different sizes of fillet applied. So if I select the 3 mm fillet, it will highlight the 3 mm fillets here. If I select the 5 mm, it will highlight the 5 and 6. So depending on the fillet that you have selected, it will just highlight that, and you can then later modify it. Or you can also just go to this option and select the fillet which you want to modify. In this case, maybe I just want to modify this one. So select this fillet and add a radius. So in this case, I'll just add a radius of 2.6 unit for this one, and I'll select resize, and the fillet has been resized. If you want to remove this fillet completely, you can just once again select the fillet and select remove, and that's going to remove the fillet entirely as well. Okay, now finally, let's just talk about this corner option. Now I'll go to this corner, and here you can select these kind of corners where 3 fillets intersect. So here right now we have got these 3 fillets, and this is just creating this shape by default, but you can choose from other alternatives that are available. So in order to do that, just go to corner, select the corner faces, and select this corner fillet here, this face. Now click on show alternatives, and SolidWorks will show you other alternatives for this fillet. So the first alternative is actually the same fillet which we have here, but when you click on the second one, you will get the preview here. So I'll just click here, and the fillet will change to this. So it will just change it to that second alternative. Now depending on the kind of geometry which you have, you may want to choose one type or the other for this kind of corner. In this case, I'll just select this fillet, and I'll change it back to the first alternative. I think the first one looks good just for this case, and it will work better in this example. So I'll just select that and click OK, and that's our fillet. And that's how you can use the FilletXpert tool as well in SolidWorks.